Welcome. I'm Todd Raffel with Erie Media, and if you don't know of us, or if you're watching this on an embed somewhere, you can find us at ere.net. And I'm here with Cathy Henesey. Cathy's coming to us from Dallas, where I believe it's been in the triple digits, she said, for 25 straight days, the weather. So thanks for coming, Cathy. Cathy works as a recruiting leader at Children's Medical Center there. And if you wouldn't mind, Cathy, just start 20 seconds, whatever. Tell us about your company. You roughly hire how many people per year, and they tend to be what kind of people, nurses, so on. Who do you hire, and who's hard to find, that kind of thing.
Okay. As I said, my name is Cathy Henesey. We have a major hospital here in Dallas, Texas. We're about 550 beds. We have about 5,500 employees, and we tend to hire about a little over 1,000 per year. So we have one major hospital here in Dallas. Then we have a secondary one out in the suburbs. It's Legacy or Plano, Texas, that people might know. And then we just opened up a new location just west of us out in South Lake, Texas.
And who do you is there a position that's the hardest to fill, or a couple positions, or?
Sure. Right now, it's interesting. The nurses were the most difficult to fill, and actually we have a pretty good flow of those. Certainly other healthcare organizations have been hurt by the industry, but our toughest to fill right now is our physical therapists and our occupational therapists and our speech language pathology. I know, looking at some of the statistics recently, we're looking at 0.04% or 0.04 available candidates for every position. Wow. So it is really tough.
You're talking about in Dallas or in general, like in the United States?
This is a Texas as well as a Dallas statistic.
Okay.
Availability of candidates.
And some companies pay for an employee referral. If you refer someone and they take a job at your company, you give them the person who referred them some money, and then maybe you give them more money after 30 days or 3 months or something.
Sure.
As I understand it, with you, it's a little different. You pay for just an employee providing the name of someone. Is that right?
Sure. Well, we do both. So we have what we call a hot list of those technical or more difficult to fill positions, in which we will pay anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000, like your typical employee referral program. But then on our more difficult positions, where we may have a high volume, or just the positions have been going on for so long, we will actually pay for a referral. Just give us a name of somebody that is working in the industry in that position, so that we can call and kind of make that introduction. Sometimes, these individuals are so busy, they know people where they worked at before, but they just don't have the time to call them and reach out to them and make that pitch. So, we pay typically $100 for that referral. We make sure that they're qualified and open to hear from us. And of course, we need the contact information. We don't need a resume. And then that's just a lead for us to call. And if it's not for now, it certainly could be a year from now.
And then you get more money once they start working and whatnot.
Well, actually, that lead, that $100 referral, is just give us the name. And as soon as we, verify that they are, a live person, we give them that money right off the bat. It doesn't matter if they're hired or not. It's just giving us a name.
But do you get more if they are hired?
Yes, of course. Then they fall under the typical employee referral plan, and they'll get the $2,000 to $4,000 depending on it. We pay upfront a half within the first 30 days, and then the other half at 6 months.
So I could find 5 names from LinkedIn or somewhere and make a nice, cool, crisp $500 or something.
Absolutely. As long as you have their email and telephone number? Absolutely. We had some nice Christmas bonuses last year for people.
How's the paying for names working out? Do you have a metric, or do you have a thought on how that works out?
It's all those names are great people. Our percentage is probably around 25% to close or to hire, but it's not, we've been doing this for about a year, so there are names still that we know are out there, and we know that they want a particular shift or they want a particular situation, and it's just a matter of timing. So we know that, they could be hires in the future, but still pretty high ratio of referrals.
Just so I got it right, 25% of the names you get are hired?
Hires, yeah.
Okay. Are those typically for the hard-to-fill jobs?
Yes, we do that program just for the hard to fill. We obviously aren't going to pay for names that that we don't have difficulty in filling. Some of our lower level positions, we get 500 plus resumes, so of course we're not going to pay for names for those type level positions.
A few companies, as I understand it, have stretched out referrals and they're paying a former employee or even anyone for a referred name, but that's not what you do, right? You have to be on this.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You get into some tax situations paying people that don't work for you, and I haven't quite figured out a way or found a way to convince payroll to do that, but I think it's a great idea if you can figure out and let your finance people pay it.
Do you use any of the tools and the widgets and the programs? I feel like there's a new startup almost every day the last 7 months that has something to do with referrals and LinkedIn and Facebook. Do you use any of these?
Not yet. I certainly use those methods to recruit candidates myself, but I haven't tried those widgets or any of those specific things where they're asking people to pass on their names. Certainly other than I certainly post postings on Facebook and ask people to share those and, try to teach people very casually how to do that on their own, but I'm paying very close attention to some of those widgets, and I think those are going to be the way to go. They're really expensive entry points to getting into those, and I'd like to see them be a little bit more successful before we dip our toe in the water, as they say.
Do you get in a lot of situations where 3 people give a name and you have to decide if you're going to give $300 or give $33 to each?
Yeah, we actually had that issue with the name referrals, and our rule, and luckily we thought about that up front. Our rule was first person that gave the name is the person that got the pay for the referral name. So, and that's normal. That's traditional employee referral. You'll get people from different places, and it's first century gets the payout.
One last thing, and then I'll let you off the hook, literally. And I know that we've talked before, and you've gone to conferences, and you just have a lot of insight in the industry. Any thoughts on the job market, the economy? I know healthcare is a little different because it's tended to hold up pretty well. Any thoughts on what's going on right now out there?
We certainly are kind of on our edge of our seats in healthcare because of what's going to happen to Medicaid. And so that's going to affect the services that we offer and, of course, then the number of beds that we would have filled. And so we're certainly looking at that, but it really hasn't affected hiring right now. There's still enough shortages and enough business going around that it doesn't affect it, but we're certainly anticipating that. I think we're no different than other organizations that some of our biggest time wasters are. We just have so many candidates that apply. Yeah. Being a well-known brand, a very stable place that hasn't had layoffs. We are, in some cases, getting 1,000 candidates per position, and so certainly we have to, find ways to be efficient to get through all those to find the best candidate. And so I'm really looking at ways to help streamline that process. So maybe so many don't apply, whether it's a screening tool or some online screening ability, just so that all those people realize they're probably not the best fit for that job and maybe to apply to something else.
Interesting. Thanks, Cathy. Good luck with everything, employee referrals and otherwise. Appreciate you spending a few minutes here.
No, thank you. It's good to see you.
Thanks.